Hi, this is Lesley Fightmaster, and today's class is a class incorporating binding and was suggested by Cross-Guided. So we're going to do a lot of shoulder opening and binding today. I also want to invite you to come to a yoga retreat in Ojai, California. The dates are July the 10th through the 13th, and if you are interested in joining us, please leave me a message below and let me know so that I can get you some information. So we'll begin here in child's pose and just start to lengthen your breath. Start to take some longer inhales and exhales as you're here. And begin to reach your arms forward so your wrists and your elbows come off the mat. And then as you exhale, clasp your hands at your low back. Take a breath in and exhale, start to reach the arms up toward the ceiling. So already beginning to warm up the shoulders. And you can watch your elbow joints, see that they don't have to lock. Mine are a little locked there, but you don't have to lock the elbow joints. It's actually better not to. So release, extend the arms again. Take another breath in, and then we'll sweep the arms back once again. Clasp the other pinky on top, and if clasping your whole hand doesn't give you much movement in the shoulders, you can you can just hook your thumbs, or if you have a towel or a yoga strap, you can hold that instead so you can get a little more movement. Now releasing here, reach the arms forward. And start to make your way into downward facing dog. So arms shoulder distance apart. Make sure the feet are hips width. Spread your fingers and root down into the base of the fingers. And you can bicycle your legs to start to warm up through your hamstrings and lengthen out your legs. As you press down through the base of the fingers, try to lift up through your forearms, almost as if you could slide a little piece of paper underneath your palm so that you don't have quite as much pressure in your wrists. On your inhale, float your right leg back and up, and then exhale, shoulders over wrists, looking forward, lightly step the right foot up, take your left knee to the floor, and inhale, coming into a low lunge, pull the right hip back, send the left hip forward, and draw your belly in. Make sure your knee stays over the ankle. And then maybe start to pull your right heel toward the back, left knee toward the front of the mat. And then we'll open the chest. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, open the chest. Palms facing forward. Inhale, the arms reach. Exhale, like you're scraping elbows toward the back wall. And then we'll take the hands back down, straighten the front leg, and fold over your right leg for half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. So pull the right hip back as you do, and stretch out the hamstrings some more. And then we'll come back to plank. Try to keep your hips low as you step back. Chaturanga, put all the way to the floor. Clasp your hands at your low back. Inhale for Shalabhasana, locust pose. Keep spinning your inner thighs up toward the ceiling. And then lowering down, hands by the rib cage for cobra. Come all the way back down, press up to plank. So you do that by lifting and firming the legs and the belly, and then press straight up all in one piece. Inhale, left leg up, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, lightly set it down, right knee to the floor. If you need extra padding in your right knee, you can always fold your mat over. Draw your belly in, lengthen down through your low back and tailbone as you sink your hips forward. Reach up through all four sides of your waist, spin your triceps in toward each other, and then as you exhale, open the chest, bend the elbows. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, bend and open, looking up maybe just a little bit. Inhale, reaching up. Use your own resistance as you exhale and open the chest. Releasing, keep the front foot there, but straighten the leg coming onto the heel. Fold over the leg for half splits, pulling the left hip back and sending your right hip forward. And then rebend the left knee. Tuck the back toes. Keep your hips low as you come back to plank and slowly lower down again all the way to the floor. Inhale, Shalabhasana with the other pinky on top as you clasp. Inner thighs spinning up. Opening the chest, a little opening of the shoulders, and then hands by the rib cage again. This time we'll come into cobra, maybe a little bit higher. If that doesn't work for you, stick with a low cobra. Then tuck the toes, lift the knees from the belly, press straight up. So you want to try to come all in one piece. If that doesn't work for you, put your knees down and keep them down. Same with when you're lowering to the floor. If you kind of lower down your chest first, it's better to put the knees down. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. As you inhale, root down through the feet and rise up. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. So just a few warm-ups here. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, hinge from the hips to fold. Inhale, make a nice flat back. Keep your gaze slightly forward. Exhale, step to plank and lower, shoulders no lower than the elbows. Inhale, upward dog, thighs and knees are off the floor. And exhale, make your way into downward facing dog. Breathing here. Keeping your inhales and your exhales equal in length. As you stretch your chest back toward your thighs, reach the backs of the knees toward the wall that's behind you. So you keep lengthening through the spine. Look forward. On your inhale, step or jump your feet. Extend. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press down, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Again, inhale the arms up. Exhale to fold. Nice flat back as you come down. Inhale, make a flat back again. Exhale, step or float back. If you float, land right in chaturanga. Inhale, press through the hands and feet. And exhale, use your belly muscles to transition into downward facing dog. While you're here, draw your low belly in. Draw your low ribs in and up. So you keep some engagement in the belly muscles. Also lift up through the pelvic floor. Look forward, step or jump your feet forward. Inhale. Exhale, fold and let your head just hang. Inhale, root through the feet. Reach all the way up. Then exhale, samastitihi. Inhale, the arms reach. Exhale, folding in. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, step or float, chaturanga. Inhale, press through your hands and feet. Exhale, make your way downward facing dog. Breathing, gaze between the knees or the feet so your ears and your arms are in the same line. And keep stretching back to lengthen out. Imagine you're just getting space, more and more space between each vertebra in your spine. Inhale, float your right leg up, bend the knee, open up your hip. And then we'll take the leg back up and make a couple circles. So circle 2 or 3 times all the way around. And then we'll step it all the way through. Take your back foot flat and inhale, come into warrior 2. So your feet should be lined up, front heel in line with back arch, your front hip dropping down and your back thigh pressing back. Knee is over the ankle and right in line with your second toe. As you reach out through your arms, drop your back hand and reverse your warrior. Nice side stretch. On the inhale, come on up. Take your hands behind your back, either pressing your fists together or your palms, and then lean over your front thigh and try and roll your top shoulder back. So you're widening across your collarbones as if you were turning your whole torso up toward the ceiling. I have my right elbow in front of my thigh. You can just rest your elbow on the thigh as well. On your next exhale, release it, coming through chaturanga. Inhale, pressing up. Exhale back into down dog. Inhale, left leg up, bend the knee, and then open the hip. And then make some circles again. So circling all the way just to lubricate the hip joint. And then exhale, step it right in the middle of the hands, back foot flat, coming again to warrior 2 on the left side. Make sure your knee is right over the ankle. Drop your tailbone down as you lift up through your frontal hip bones. They lift toward your navel. Reach through the arms, lift your chest, but soften your shoulder blades. Drop the right arm, reverse. Exhale, rebend the left knee, stretch the side. Inhale, come up. So take your hands behind you, either press your palms or your fists together, then lean forward over the left leg. So see, I've got my left elbow in front, but you could put it behind or you can put it on top. And then work on rolling your right shoulder back. So you're taking the shoulder blades and squeezing them in toward each other and opening the collarbones wider at the same time. Inhale to come up, release your arms back to warrior two, and exhale, cartwheel the arms down and take your vinyasa, or feel free to skip the vinyasa and go right into down dog anytime you like, and take the knees down and rest anytime you like. You can always push the pause button. If this isn't a good pace for you, make it better for you. Inhale, plank pose. And then right where your right hand was, put your right elbow where your left hand was, left elbow, dolphin plank. Keep bringing the heart forward, keep reaching back through the heels and lifting the backs of the knees up toward the ceiling. Reach the crown of the head forward. Don't let your head drop down. There's always that tendency. And then lift your hips, walk your feet in about a foot or so you're in dolphin pose. And as you press down into the forearms and the elbows, spin your outer upper arms, your triceps back, your biceps toward the front of the mat, and lift your shoulders up away from the mat. Then press evenly into the hands. See if you can get your forearms to come off the floor. If not, drop to the knees, press to down dog. Right leg up, inhale. Exhale, step it through. Back foot is flat. We're into warrior two. Make sure again that the front heel is lined up with the back arch. Drop your left arm, reverse right away. Exhale. Now this time reverse, but straighten your right leg. Reverse triangle pose. Nice side stretch. Then come on up. Shift your hips back as you lean forward for Trikonasana pose, triangle pose. The right hand can go wherever it reaches, the foot, the floor, the shin. Reach up through your left arm. The arms are the same as they were in our second warrior. So just reach out through the arms and then reach the left arm forward as you inhale. Exhale, sweep it down, around, and behind your back, resting at the low back, or if you can reach it around and hook it on your thigh. So again, we're rolling the top shoulder open to get some opening there for our binding that's going to be happening soon. Take a little bend in the right knee. Float the back leg up for half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. If you have a block, you can put your right hand on the block and makes it a little bit easier. And if you're pretty steady here, look up toward the ceiling. If you need to release that half wrap for balance, go ahead and release it. So bend the front knee. We're coming back down into side angle with the right hand to the ankle. Either keep it there or bring it in front of the right thigh and see if you can find your left arm back there. Maybe you're going to hold on to your left hand, and if not, maybe grab onto your shirt. And we'll release it. Come back into plank and lower down. Inhaling up dog, exhaling down dog. So this first rep, we won't hold it very long. Inhale, left leg is up. Exhale, step it through. Back foot is flat, come into warrior two. And then reverse your warrior. Exhale to bend the left knee. Keep reversing. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Nice side stretching. And then come all the way up, arms to a T. Shift the hips back. Lean as far forward as you can, taking the left hand to the shin or foot and reaching through the right arm. Shoulders are in line with each other, looking up toward your right hand unless that bothers your neck, and in which case look forward or down. Keep the belly lifted. Inhale, right arm reaches forward in line with your ear. Exhale, release the right arm and take it behind your back. Either rest it there or reach around and hold your left thigh. Try and roll your top shoulder back, and that'll widen through your collarbones as well. Keeping the half wrap if possible. Float yourself into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. The left hand's about 12 inches in front on the pinky toe side of your foot. Right leg is floating up. And if possible, if you're steady, you look up toward the ceiling. Slowly releasing. So you can take left forearm to left thigh or slide it down and hold the ankle, or thread it through from the inside of your left leg and reach around and see if you can find your right hand. And if you can't, hold on to your clothing. If you do have the right hand, start to straighten your arms out if you can, any amount. And again, squeezing the shoulder blades, rolling the top shoulder back. Back hip is coming forward. Press through the outer edge of the back foot, and then we'll release it. Stepping back through chaturanga. Inhale, pressing up. Exhale into down dog. And the knees coming down. And extend your arms forward toward the front of the mat. And then keeping your hips right over the knees, press your chest back toward the floor or towards your thighs. As you press back, keep lifting your belly and rib cage in. So you extend the arms out. Try and spin the triceps down again toward the floor as the biceps spin up toward the ceiling. This is another wonderful shoulder opening pose. We get ready for a couple deeper binds. So coming back to down dog, stretch all the way back. Feeling the difference in the shoulders. Look forward, step or jump your feet. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, root down, reaching all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands down to the heart. We'll take a tree pose, picking up the right foot first. Find a spot to focus on. Just in front of you on the floor or maybe at the wall. When you're steady, add your arms. And this time we'll take the left arm on top of the right arm, either pressing your palms together or backs of the hands. If those don't work, then just touch your hands onto your opposite shoulders and then get a little shoulder stretch that way. And release, stretch the arms up. Pointing the foot toward the front, extend the leg and hold. Belly lifts, 3 and 2 and 1. Release it. Right foot down, we'll pick up the left leg, take it anywhere, the foot anywhere above or below the knee, anywhere but on the knee joint is fine. And then arms to a T, we'll bring the right arm on top of the left. Keep a nice steady gazing point. Sometimes it's hard to keep a steady gazing point with the arms where they are, so just look off to the side of your arms. Keep squeezing your right hip in towards center and keep lifting through the low belly. Release the arms, inhale, reach the arms up, pointing the knee toward the front, extending the left leg for 3, lift the belly, 2, drop the left hip, and 1, releasing. Back to Samastitihi. Inhale, bend the knees. Utkatasana, chair pose, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart, taking the right elbow across for a twist. So press your palms right in toward the center of your chest as you turn your chest toward the thumbs, and then try and work that top shoulder back. Take the right hand down to the floor if it'll reach. Lift up through the left arm. If you take it deeper, you got to kind of scoot your armpit all the way across. We'll do this in another twist as well. Come back to center. Keeping the knees bent, take your left elbow across, pressing the palms in. As you take your left elbow across, your left hip wants to go forward, so make sure you keep pulling back on the left hip. And you can stay there or scoot your arm across more, taking left hand to the floor and reaching up through the right arm. Get nice and long through the spine from the crown of the head all the way to the tailbone. And then come to center and fold in, let your head hang. Inhale, make a flat back. Exhale, chaturanga, step or jump back. Inhale, press through the hands and feet, open the whole front of the body, and exhale back into down dog. Right leg up, inhale. Exhale, step it through. And this time stand the ball of the back foot. So your right foot was over to the right a little bit more, toward the right hand when you step it up. Drop the tailbone, lift the frontal hip bones up, and stretch up nice and tall. Then hands to the heart, adding a twist. Left elbow across as you press your palms in toward the center of the chest. Keep reaching their left heel toward the floor. So if you want to take it deeper, you're going to scoot your armpit across to the knee and reach up through your right arm. And you can wrap it here by taking your right hand behind your back and taking the left arm underneath the thigh and maybe clasping hands or hold your shirt. Again, widening the collarbones. Squeezing the shoulder blades and releasing. This time straighten the right leg and fold forward over your straight leg, right leg for pyramid pose. Maybe walking the hands back with the fingertips facing the back of the mat using a little arm strength. Rebend the knee and take a vinyasa. Lower through chaturanga, inhaling up, exhaling back. Left leg up, inhale. Exhale, step it through by the left hand. Stand the ball of your back foot. Rise up into high lunge. Drop your tailbone down. Lift your frontal hip bones up. Keep pulling the left hip back. And then straighten out the right leg as much as you can. Hands to heart center. Bring your right elbow across for the twist. So you can stay right with pressing your palms and working them in toward the center of the chest as you roll your left shoulder back. Or if you want to go deeper, scoot your right arm across toward the armpit. Take the right hand to the floor and the left arm up. If you can't quite reach the floor and you have a yoga block available, you can put that on the pinky toe side of your foot. So let's take the left arm behind and right arm underneath the thigh, maybe clasping hands and binding or holding on to your clothing. And again, open the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades, look up if you can, and then releasing. Oh, I forgot. There, straighten the front leg. And then fold forward for Parsvottanasana variation. Maybe walking the hands back toward the foot, fingertips facing back, and taking a big stretch. Rebend the knee and step back, Vinyasa. And again, feel free to skip any Vinyasa. Go right into down dog. Hit the pause button. Take the knees down and rest when you want to rest. From here, walking the hands back to the feet, grab your opposite elbows and gently rock from side to side for a nice forward fold. And keep hinging from the hips. Then I'm going to take the right arm underneath the inner right thigh, take your left arm behind your back, and I'm clasping my hands here. You can do that, or you can hold on to your clothing. Then left hand to the floor, ground down through the right foot, and pick up your left. That's right, the left leg. So as you press down into the left hand and the right foot, you can get some nice lightness in the left leg. Keep pressing to lift. And if the leg doesn't come up right away, just do it a couple of times. It's actually not so difficult. It's just a little bit awkward. So we'll release that. Back to ragdoll pose, hanging forward. And then a little bend in the knee. Take the left arm on the inside of the thigh, right arm all the way up and around. Clasp if you can, or hold on to your clothing. And then start to shift. Well, start to straighten the legs if you can clasp and twist a little deeper. And then begin to shift your weight. So I'm going to take the right hand to the floor, start to shift the weight into the left foot, and then when you're ready, pick up your right leg. So it's a little half bind with a leg lift. Stretching up through the leg as you breathe. 3, 2, and 1. Releasing. And then walk yourself right back out into downward facing dog. Knees down and a little child's pose to rest. Just let your head rest on your hands or on the floor. Come back to your nice steady breath so that you can even out the inhales and exhales. And then extend the arms forward again. Tuck your toes, make your way to down dog. Inhale and float your right leg up. And exhale, step it through, back foot is flat. Coming back to warrior 2. Lean forward right into side angle, right forearm to right thigh. You're going to take the left arm behind you, resting at the low back, or hook the thigh. Slide the right hand down, hold on to the ankle, or again, we'll interlock. So reaching for the left hand or wrist, and this time step your back foot forward. So now you're grounded down through the left leg and picking up the right leg for bird of paradise, keeping that wrap. If you couldn't make the wrap, that's okay. You can still extend your right leg up without the wrap. Keep reaching through the toes, the ball of your the ball of the foot that's extended. Slowly release it. Now we're going to step all the way back again into our bound side angle. So right knees again over the ankle, just for breath. And release it, either down dog to stay or a vinyasa. Inhaling into upward facing dog, exhaling downward dog. Inhale, float your left leg up. Exhale, step it through, back foot flat, lined up heel to arch. And come on up, warrior two. And then leaning over the leg, left forearm to left thigh, right arm is up, and then right arm behind the back, resting at the low back, or reach around, hook it on the thigh, rolling the top shoulder back. If you can, slide your left hand down to your left ankle and hold there. If you want to interlock, take the left arm inside of the thigh and reach back. So the elbow has to bend in order for your hands to clasp. But once you do, try and straighten the arms. Take your back foot, step it all the way forward. Begin to ground down onto the right foot. And when you're ready, using the belly muscles, pick up the left leg and either stay there or extend the leg out. If you're not wrapped, don't worry. Just extend the left leg either out to the side or in front of you. 3, 2, and release it. Come on back down, and then we'll step the foot all the way back, the right foot. So we try to find the pose again just for a breath, and open the chest. Looking at the floor, releasing, go back through your vinyasa, or again, skip it and go right into down dog. So stretching back, getting length through the spine again. Look forward and step or jump through to sit. Come all the way back for bridge pose. Feet hips width apart. As you're ready, lift your hips and low back, mid back, maybe upper back. Spiral your thighs in toward each other as you roll the shoulders under. Keep your chin away from your chest. And lower down. Just resting here. Keep your feet on the floor. Second one, press down into the heels and lift up, rolling the shoulders under. Chin away from chest as you breathe into the chest, and then lower back down. For the last one, if you want to take a full wheel and take your hands up by your ears, make sure your elbows stay parallel. So your elbows are right above the wrists when you pause at the crown of the head, and then stretch yourself up. Outer edges of the feet parallel. Keep lifting your belly even here, lifting your hip bones up toward the navel and lengthening all through the front. To come down, chin in toward chest, lower down, and then this time hug your knees into your chest and rocking here side to side. Give your low back a little massage. Start to rock up and down, forward and backward. Couple rocks, and then all the way up into a seated position. Pull your toes back and then bend your right knee right sole of the foot onto the floor and take your right arm inside of it for Murray-Chasana A. So you take it in, wrap it around, try to reach back with the left hand to clasp. As you exhale, fold forward, keep pulling the left toes back. So it's another wrap, it's another shoulder opening. Inhale, coming up, and release it. The left foot onto the floor, so it's about a little space between your left foot and your inner thigh, and then left arm inside, wrap it around, clasp. As you're ready to exhale, come forward, lengthening over your straight front leg. Steady breathing. Inhale and come on up and release it. Now we'll bend the right knee again. This time the foot's right by the inner thigh. Right hand behind you. Reach left arm up. Inhale. Exhale. Take it across to twist. There's a wrap option here. By taking the armpit across, you can reach around with the left hand and see if you can find your right. See if you can find your right. And every time you inhale, sit up nice and tall. And every time you exhale, roll your right shoulder back and open. Good. Inhale, head to center, unwinding. And we'll do the other side. Left knee bends, left hand behind, right arm up, inhale. Exhale, take it across to twist and stay there, or scoot the armpit across, take it around and wrap, holding onto your hand or holding onto your shirt. Inhale to lengthen the spine, exhale, and roll the right shoulder back. Steady breathing. Oh, that's your left shoulder. Sorry, your left shoulder's rolling back. Inhale your head to center. Exhale to unwind. Lift up through all four sides of the waist. Exhale, fold forward for Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Lengthen on your inhale. As you exhale, keep reaching with the heart to extend your spine, reaching the crown of your head toward your feet. Keep pulling the toes back toward your torso. Inhale is head up. Exhale to release. Lie all the way down. And then lifting the legs up. You can keep your hips right there on the floor, or if you want a full shoulder stand, you'll lift all the way up into shoulder stand. And try and line up your hips right over your shoulders and your feet right above your hips. Keep your chin away from the chest. Spiral your thighs in toward each other like you're holding a block. And gaze right off the tip of your nose. So find a little spot on your shirt to focus on and keep your gaze right there. If this is uncomfortable or hurts your neck at all, just come down. And let's come back into plow pose, taking the feet toward the floor behind you, onto the tops of the feet, but lift up through the spine and lift the hips up toward the ceiling. Clasp your hands if you can, or keep the hands on the low back. As you exhale, begin to roll yourself out using the belly muscles, and when you get to the low back, put your hands right under your hips and then press all the way up and reach the crown of the head back for Matsyasana. So I'm pressing into the forearms and elbows to lift up. Let's release that and hug the knees in. And then arms to a T. Let your knees go off to the left as you turn to look over the right shoulder. For a deeper twist, cross your left knee over your right knee. And back to center on the inhale. Exhale, knees to the right, looking left. And remember, you can cross the right knee over the left. And then coming back to center, hug the knees in. And we'll make our way into our final resting pose, Shavasana. So get the shoulder blades to move down away from your ears towards your waist. And take your feet about hips width, maybe even a little bit wider as you let your feet flop open. Palms facing up. And close your eyes and just rest. We'll be here for a couple of minutes. So let everything just sink into the floor. And release your ujjayi breathing. Just come into natural breath, quiet mind, quiet body, Shavasana. Our last class, I had a topic of forgiveness, and I'm still on that topic. because I think it's very important. Because remember, you don't forgive someone for his or her sake, you forgive them for your sake. And when you do forgive, it doesn't mean that you forget. And it doesn't mean that you're giving the message that what somebody did was okay. It just means that you've let go of the anger towards somebody. Maybe that person could be you. It is easier said than done for sure. But it will keep you much healthier and much happier in the long run. Because all of that anger stuff, it's all in the past. And it's best to let it go so we can just stay right in the present where things are good. So the quote that I have for this class is from Lewis B. Smedes. He said, "To forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that the prisoner was you." So it's always good to keep in mind that this forgiveness is for you. Take a nice long breath and start to reawaken your body. Stretch out through the arms and the legs. And begin to bend your knees and roll off to your right side. Pause a moment there. And getting up carefully, press your left hand into the floor. Come up with your head coming up last and cross at your shins. Hands to the heart. Taking a moment, honoring, respecting yourself for all the wonderful things that make you who you are. Let's bring the hands to the forehead, reminding us to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to the heart to remind us to have clear and loving intentions. And hands to the mouth, reminding us to have clear and loving communications. Thank you so much. Namaste. Please subscribe. Please tell a friend.